and this. But it isn't the weirdest, because that would be this.
What's going on, YouTube family? Welcome to Automotive Life. My name is Lucky, and today is a bittersweet day. We're going to be putting up for sale our beautiful 2012 lifted smart car. This car has been absolutely amazing. This has actually been my daily driver for the last 2 months because my Audi iaai has been inside the shop getting custom exhaust work done and some other great stuff. But, you know, I absolutely love this car. Now, the reason why I'm putting up for sale is I have a bunch of other projects we have to finish. And if you watch my channel, you'll see I got like 30 other cars that we got to get done. And so after enjoying this for 2 months solid straight and owning it for a little over 8 months, you know, I think it's time for it to go to a new owner. Now, this is literally one of my top 10 cars that I've ever owned or ever driven. This thing is just absolutely hilarious. If you want to talk about attention getting, here in the city of Las Vegas, we have supercars, exotic cars, all kinds of crazy stuff. We take this to Cars and Coffee car shows. Hands down, there'll be 30, 40 people around this car at all times compared to any Lamborghini, Ferrari, Bugatti, whatever you want. This thing literally steals the show, and that's the whole reason we got it. Now, it's been an amazing journey. This car actually came from Gotham Garage. That is a Netflix TV show called Car Masters. It's season 1, episode 1, which I'll play a little clip for you now.
Oh, here we go. Most of it, I think, to $1,000, and I turned it into fat.
Now, this car was customized for a vineyard. Now, we bought it from the actual company because they winded up not being able to use it due to the pandemic and some other crazy stuff. And so we brought it here to the city of Las Vegas to enjoy it and have some fun and make some great content. And I've absolutely had the blast. I've taken this thing on Hoopty Cross, which is an off-road rally. We took it on the Mint 400, which is here in Vegas, where we're racing this thing against $1 million super trucks. And it has been an absolute blast. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the car and some of the things you need to know about it. So this way, if you're interested in buying it, it's going to be up for sale here very shortly. It's going to be on Cars and Bids. We're going to try this new app and see what kind of bids we can get on it. And on top of that, it's open to the public so everybody can bid it, whether you're an average watcher of the channel or you're just somebody new that think this thing's absolutely hilarious and you got to have it in your driveway. Now, like I said, I've been driving this thing every single day for the last 2 months. And when I tell you it's been an absolute pleasure and absolute being hilarious, it is. This thing takes a little over 40 bucks to fill up, even with premium at the whatever, $6, $7, whatever it is here in Vegas. This thing runs like a champ. We did all the service work to it. It runs great. Its top speed is 65 miles an hour. And the reason why is because we have these massive, if you can see these tires, you know, that's the fastest speed you go on. So like I said, you can take this on the freeway and you could drive it around and you won't have any issues on the freeway itself. But unfortunately, like I said, you are limited to 65 miles an hour. But to be honest with you, this thing is absolutely killer on the streets. Driving it up and down through traffic, having fun, doing all kinds of stuff like that. This thing, like I said, just brings nothing but attention. So we're gonna go ahead and start off a tour of the outside of the vehicle. First, we're gonna go to the front here. As you can see, we have 2 LED light bars. These things are extremely bright. They function great. We also have up front here, if you look, this little winch. We've actually used this before to pull ourselves out of a hole, and we've actually pulled cars through the shop around with this if you watch our channel. So this thing actually does work and has no problems. The remote is right here. We have our little skid plate, which says Gotham Garage on it. So definitely need that. If you watch some of our other videos, we've actually hit stuff with this. Some cardboard boxes on the street, ran over some stuff off-roading. It's been pretty hilarious. If you look at the tires right here, I do have some new tires. They're just waiting to come in. So whoever buys it, they're gonna get all new tires all the way around. So we got massive, what are these things? 15-inch, 30 by 50. So some big tires. If you look right here, the suspension looks pretty stock. We got some few extending bushings, but you have custom trailing arms down here. Everything's welded correctly. Let's go ahead. And as you can see, we have the exoskeleton here that just absolutely makes the car stand out. We were actually going to paint this a different color and make it like a Mario Kart / Jurassic Park theme. But we decided just to kind of leave it the way it is because we were in the rush to do a Mint 400. If you can see, it's got these fender flares that are hard plastic. Our little skull and crossbones, that is a sticker, so if you don't like it, you can go ahead and peel it off. It's not there all the time. We got our shovel if you want to dig yourself out of a hole. We got our fire extinguisher, which actually functions. We use the other one and it actually works. We have our spare tire right here with our amazing trailer hitch. I don't know what you're gonna pull with this, but we've moved some small little trailers and stuff around the shop. It does work. We have our gas can. Don't worry about these. These are just like old paper rolls that we stuck in here so the gas can wouldn't rattle when we go off-roading. We have our jack, so this way if you can't lift it up with the factory jack, we can use that one. But you can see the fender flares, just the overall exterior of the car is just epic. I mean, the more you look at it, the more you cannot stop smiling. This thing is absolutely hilarious. I'm telling you guys, when I tell you that when you go places and you drive around in this thing, you get nothing but smiles. I mean, even look at this car. It looks like it's smiling at you right now. But that's why I absolutely love it. Trust me, it's actually been hard to put this thing up for sale. If I didn't have so many damn projects, I'd probably keep it. But I know whoever picks this car is going to be absolutely happy. This thing is probably one of the best secondary cars, or even if you want to use it for a daily driver, I've ever had. So we're going to go ahead and take it for a spin, and I'm going to show you the interior. So I wanted to give you guys a tour of the inside with me actually sitting inside of it, because a lot of people think this car is tiny, it's very small, there's not a lot of space. I'm about 5'10" and a petite 230 pounds. If you could see, I have plenty of space between my leg. Actually, the seat is scooted all the way back and I could barely touch the pedal. So I've seen people 6'6" inside here with no problems. Tons of headspace. I got probably about maybe 4 to 5 inches up above my head. I've had people that are about 6'3" in here, and they've had probably about this much above their head. So even though the car is relatively small, it is rather spacious in the interior. I'll go ahead and show you some of the options. This thing has amazing AC. Here in Vegas, it gets about 120 degrees, and I run this thing, and it's just ice cold. The car cools down relatively quickly. I just installed this newer car radio. It's got Apple CarPlay, Android CarPlay, has a bunch of options. I've watched YouTube on here. You could even track your car as far as how fast you want to go, lap times, all kinds of crazy stuff. I love this. This is a 9.5-inch screen. Thing looks absolutely massive compared to the one that was in here before. I think it was about half the size, but it works great. I got auxiliary plugins where I put in like my USBs for all my music, upload pictures. Like I said, this is Wi-Fi enabled, so you can connect it to your phone and stream Pandora off your cell phone. Or if you just want to watch YouTube while you're sitting here having lunch, you could technically do that. Shifter and everything else is right here in the center console. This is how you start the car up. So the keys are here in the middle. Like I said, tons of leg space, tons of storage space. Let me show you back here. I actually drive an Audi R8, and I put more stuff in this car than the Audi R8 and the Lamborghini Huracan. It's far more space. We're going to see here on the dash, once we start driving, the ABS light as well as the traction control light are going to stay on. Unfortunately, with the lifted tires and the modified suspension, you lose traction control, but that's okay because you really want to drift this thing around corners and have some fun when you're going off-roading. But like I said, I drive it every day, no problems. So we're going to go ahead and pull out here. Now, the smart cars, they run absolutely great. This thing is a champ, but I'll tell you right now, there is no power steering. So even though there's no power steering, it actually runs relatively smooth. If you can kind of see, with one hand and just a few fingers, you can actually pull it and turn it. It's only when you stop and make a full stop and actually have to pull it left to right, you'll actually feel the transition. But if you could just see, like even the people in front of us, the people behind us in the car, they're already honking at us. I'm telling you, everybody that sees this car absolutely laughs. This thing can bring smiles forever and a day. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna cruise down Las Vegas Boulevard. Now, the reason why I wanted to make this driving video is I'm actually holding the camera just in my hand, and I wanna show you how the suspension actually operates. So even though I'm going through this road, it's pretty smooth, it runs really well. You can hear a little bit of the tire noise because it does have the off-road tires. But stick the camera out the window there so you can hear it. But besides that, it runs relatively smooth. The car brakes pretty easily, you know, but very light pressure. Every once in a while, you'll feel a pulsating in the pedal, but nothing really crazy. That's just the car keeping up with the ABS. But as far as an everyday scenario of driving this thing, it is an absolute blast. And the AC is awesome. Here in Las Vegas, it is hot as hell. So if you don't have good AC, it's pretty much a killer. This thing, it freezes itself in about maybe 10 minutes after firing up. And if it's a cold day, this thing will heat up very, very quickly. And this probably has the most simple climate control. We have one for temperature and then fan, and that's it. We have circulate and AC, and then you can just point it different directions. The most simplest climate control on earth. but it works great, especially for this little car. And like I said, it costs 40 bucks to fill this thing up. So we got a little bit more than a half tank, so I could probably drive for the next 2 to 3 days and not have any problems. So I know some of you guys are wondering, how practical is this vehicle? So we're actually gonna go do some stuff. We're gonna take it on the freeway, but first, we're gonna order some food. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but this car is actually really high. So if you were to go next to a brand new Tahoe or Suburban, I'll see if we can get it in traffic. This thing is actually high. So that's the reason why I want to take you through a drive-through window. If you look, we're actually looking down at a drive-through window. That's how tall this thing is. Okay, we got our food. We're heading out now. I also wanted to show you in a practical use, this is a large cup. So if you can see there, there's actually quite a bit of space from the top of that to there. So this thing is actually really good for everyday use. Now, I didn't mention it before, but when I bought this, I actually bought it from Los Angeles, California. And I live in Las Vegas. And we took, I think it was probably about maybe a little over 300 miles is where we had to go, because the studio was actually outside of LA, closer towards, I guess, Temecula. So we drove this thing 300 miles at 65 miles an hour back there. So if you're looking for something you can literally drive every day, this is it. But like I said, runs great, tons of space for food, easy to get into driveways. I don't know if you guys saw, but I actually just drove off the curb in the smart car, and it took it like a champ. This thing is just awesome. All right, we're getting ready to get on the freeway. I just wanted to show you guys, if you look right here, we have a little tiny speedometer. Once we start moving, our speed pops up right next to it. So this way we can see how fast we're going. Because even though this has a speedometer, it's off like about 7 to 8 miles, where this is the actual true speed of the vehicle. But I'll show you that once we get on there, because like I said, we're gonna do a full send pull once we get on the freeway. All right, here we go, guys. I'm about to show you the power of the smart car. Make sure you turn down your speakers. The motor might rev so loud, you might blow out your speakers here. Here we go, punch it. Look at that, 30 miles an hour. Woo! Feel the power. Woo! And if you look right here at our speedo, it actually goes red when you go faster than the speed limit. So right now we're going 56 and a 35 on ramp. So here we go, we're on the freeway. We've officially hit 60 miles an hour, if you can see there. And it is buttery smooth. You can hear a little bit of noise from the actual tires, but that's about it. So, beautiful sideline of Vegas. This thing runs great on the freeway. Like I said, we actually drove this thing from LA to Vegas. So, if you're taking it as a secondary car or something is fun, oh, look at that. I think we're about to break our top speed, 68 miles an hour. We actually got 70 downhill. So if you go downhill, you actually go even faster. You may get up to 70 something. But like I said, everyday driver, it's great. Absolutely a blast. You guys can't see it, but there's literally people pulling out their cameras and trying to film us as we're driving. So I wanted to show you guys another thing that I got with the vehicle. Every Gotham Garage build comes with a little metal trinket. It's actually pretty cool. It's really heavy. I think it's solid brass. But this comes with the vehicle, as well as this little army guy. That's what he's here for. I was in the army, so I figured it's army green. It'd be kind of funny to leave him in there. If you want him, I'll include him. But you do get this as well. So that was the tour of my beautiful smart car. Like I said, it is going on Cars and Bids, and it is going up for no reserve. That's right. The last person that bids on it wins this beautiful thing. So if it sells for $1, it sells for $1. If it does, I probably cry, because I actually paid a lot of money for this thing from the movie studio. But anyways, I digress. Like I said, this is an amazing car. Probably one of the most low-key, fun, exciting cars that I've ever owned in my life. One of the big, amazing shockers that I didn't realize is how much girls actually like this. So dudes, if you're a little bit ugly and you want to pick up chicks, you can actually pick up a lot of girls with this car. It's pretty hilarious. Every time people see it, they just walk up to it and they think it's a toy. But anyways, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to include some bonus footage at the end of some of the rallies we did with it, taking it off-road, doing some other fun stuff. I got another 3-4 minutes of that, so go ahead and check that out. And make sure you check us out on Cars and Bids, and we'll see you next time.